Have you ever heard, you don't appreciate me? Have you ever heard, you don't tell me I love you or I'm happy you're in my life? Then perhaps your spouse's love language is words of affirmation. So really, what's a words of affirmation? They're words of affection. Words of affirmation is one of the 5 love languages. And when it's predominant in your partner's life, you're going to hear complaints like, you didn't tell me I look nice today. You haven't said you like what I'm putting on. That's what happens when words of affirmation is your spouse's love language. And if it's also yours, you will feel upset if you have a new haircut, or maybe you just came back from the salon and your spouse doesn't say a word, or perhaps looks like at you like there's nothing different. So words of affirmation are words, affectionate words, verbal acknowledgement of your partner that makes them feel cherished and loved. So frequent I love you. You can't, for someone whose primary love language is words of affirmation, you can't say I love you too much. If you say it every day, every night, it will not just be enough. So, and I need you, I'm glad you're in my life. Compliments, words of encouragement. Someone with words of affirmation as a love language wants to hear you encourage them. They prefer to listen to you say these things rather than you say, oh, but he knows I love him, or she knows I love her. No, that's not enough for someone whose love language is words of affirmation. Yes, that's the kind of person you should send text to. I love you text, or I'm missing you, or I can't wait for you to get back home. Someone who likes to hear you look good today, or you grow younger every day. I'm glad I met you. I'm glad you're in my life. Those are the words that feed the mind of someone whose love language, whose primary love language is words of affirmation. They want to hear this. And I bet if it's yours too, you'll be happy to hear that from your partner. So you have to, written or spoken words, that's the kind of person to buy a card just to say, I love you. This kind of cards, that's the kind of person to give the card to. Someone who wants to know that you're there and you appreciate them. Now, someone whose love language is words of affirmation also would want a verbal acknowledgement of their efforts. So they're the kind that would expect a thank you from you if they do something. They're the kind that would expect you to just talk about them and how they mean to you, to all and sundry. You can tell them, but it's okay if you tell other people too. That's the kind of person whose love language is words of affirmation. And the minute you don't do that, even if you do a million other things, such a person is going to feel unloved. And you're going to hear, you just don't love me. I can't believe you love me. Now, the details matter. When you're telling someone who likes words of affirmation, whose love language is words of affirmation, if you're acknowledging something on that person, you had better get it right. Don't tell let's, for example, don't see a woman who has had her hair for like a week and then tell her, oh, that hair looks good. It will hurt badly, because guess what? She's had it for a week and you didn't notice. So that's not so you have to be very, very, very what's the word? You have to be present to know what is going on in the life of someone who appreciates words of affirmation, because they not only have to be timely, they have to be correctly delivered and directed. So words of affirmation are powerful. They're powerful. They make a difference in your home. You'll be amazed at how far someone that loves of affirmation would go, the length they will go further for you, especially when they know that they are loved, or they believe they're loved by your words, and how you tell them I love yous and all the beautiful things they like to listen to. Someone with words of affirmation wants to hear you say it. So today, if you have a spouse whose love language is words of affirmation, it's time to really look at him or her very well. If it's a man, then you have to tell him, oh gosh, I'm so glad I'm married. You're the best husband in the whole wide world. And his head will swell, trust me. And he'll be willing to do much more for you. Words of affirmation are such that someone who likes words of affirmation should not be compared to someone else. It's a cardinal sin if you tell someone with words of affirmation that somebody else is better. No. You have to be able to tell that person, at least you're doing well. Even if you perhaps don't want to lie that the person is the best. But I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. Those are words that you can speak to your partner that convey that you love him or her. So tomorrow we'll visit another love language. Make sure you like, share, follow. You never can tell who needs to hear this. So bye.